We have one player left and then the coach of the year. So let's get the player done here first. And this is going to be the D3 football newcomer of the year. We don't like using the word rookie when we think to avoid it because that's not fair. This is somebody that's just new to the scene that ultimately made a huge impact. And honestly, I saw it at first early in the season and didn't even know about him and learned real fast about the impact he might have this season. That is Rahshan LaMons, the running back from Susquehanna University. Third team D3Football.com All-American, first team All-Region 2 running back. Rushed for 1,650 yards and 18 touchdowns. So it's 117.86 yards per game average. Had 40 receptions for 427 yards, 3 receiving touchdowns, threw a TD against Wilkes, in fact. Also had 3 punt return touchdowns this season, all landmark conference first team. JB, instead of us talking about this, just between us, we wanted to invite on our
Yeah.
friend Tom Perkovich, head coach of Susquehanna, and make sure you watch this interview in its entirety, folks, for a special reason. And we wanted to talk with the coach of Rahshan LaMons, our newcomer of the year, running back from Susquehanna, Coach Tom Perkovich. Coach, before we dive into discussion about Rahshan, I think it would be a fitting start to talk about your season overall. You got over the playoff hump, as they call it. Got that first win, and you guys started to roll in the playoffs all the way to the semifinals. More in the semifinals in a second. We won't talk too much about that. But, you guys did roll. What was the difference maker this year for your team to actually get over that hump and then continue that rolling down the line there?
Well, I think it came down to experience. Sometimes you got to go through some tough times to get through things. Obviously we had some tough losses in the playoffs the year before and the year before that, especially the year before against Grove City. I think sometimes you can learn from those things and move forward. And I thought our guys handled that well in the off season. I think that it just kind of rejuvenated our guys. And then I think that the loss to Cortland early, I take a lot internally after losses. It takes me a while to get over those in any way, but I wasn't really that beat up against with that game. We went toe to toe with a great team. We had opportunities. We didn't capitalize on them. We learned how penalties can hurt us in special teams in that game. So I think and we hadn't lost a regular season game in a long time. So for us, it was kind of reset our guys a little bit on what needs to get done, what has to get done on a daily basis, and how those little things matter. And I was really happy with the fact that our leadership and knew it and didn't beat around the bush. They took it right on the chin, and it moved us forward in the right way. And then I think we adjusted as a staff better than we had. We adjusted some practice stuff late in the year. We had 2 buys out of the 3 weeks leading up to Hobart. So I think we managed that well. And we were as fresh as possible going into the playoff run as we could possibly be. So I think it was just experience and then some, a few changes that helped us. And we got better as a team, obviously, with guys like Rahshan and Josh playing a lot better at quarterback than he did the year before, and it gave us a lot more options. So, we came together a little bit better in some ways.
Well, speaking of Rashawn, I think a lot of D3 football fans, if they didn't already know him, got to know him pretty well in that game against St. John's in the playoffs where you guys went all the way out to Minnesota. Tell us a little bit about what that was like for your team to hop on the plane and go out to Collegeville, one of the storied D3 football stadiums, and this guy, I think he had close to 200 yards rushing or at least total offense and scored most of the touchdowns in that game for the Riverhawks. Just tell us first off, where did you find this guy and his sort of steady rise throughout the season to finish off with, as we can see here, 1,650 yards and 18 touchdowns.
Yeah, He's out of Delaware, the Tatnall School. We've done fairly well in Delaware over our years here, and he's obviously the cherry on top for us. But just we got on him, we recruited him as hard as we recruited anyone, probably because we were only taking one running back in the class with a couple really good players returning. He was the guy we wanted. He had some, other really good options, and I think on his visit, him and one of his high school teammates came together, one of his best friend, and we just connected. We just vibed. We just his family, our players. I think he just felt at home. That fit factor that we talk about in recruiting was really really huge for him, and it just connected. And he took a little bit to make a decision, but not too long, and we got everything where we needed to be. And he ended up coming. We were ecstatic, obviously, to get him. We thought he could be the player he is, and he can obviously change a game and in a lot of ways, right? Not just running the ball, but his ability to catch the ball out of the backfield and return game. People stopped kicking to him for most of the year after his 3 touchdowns, and I think he still led the country, but didn't get a lot of opportunities. But just so dynamic in so many ways. Fun player to work the offense around, and find ways to get him the ball in ways as a freshman. It's pretty amazing, and but he's a great kid. He's a come to work every day type of guy. He's got an infectious attitude on our team, just smiling, and knows his role, and is a great teammate. And he's a smart player, willing to block, doing all the things that you want out of your guys. He's been just a pleasure to coach, and excited for his future and what he brings. But he's just a great kid, in a lot of ways, and obviously a dynamic player. And to come in and beat a guy like Tommy Grabowski out for the position, who was an all-region player a year ago, says a lot about him. And and Tommy took it great. Kudos to him on how he handled it with the situation. Unfortunately, he got hurt and missed most of the year for us. But interesting situation with a freshman and a returning all-region player. But both guys handled it great, and our team got better because of it.
Coach, I did look down his Twitter feed recently and saw all these different commitments from schools, and he was excited, obviously, to have that kind of attention, and for him to pick Susquehanna. That was a big deal, as you said, because of how good he was coming out of high school. But I always focus on the idea of what a great run game does for your pass game ultimately, and I wanted your insight on this. Do you think Rahshan made Josh Ehrlich a better quarterback this season in terms of allowing him to see the field better, have more time in certain cases to draw defenses in a way that they were going to key in or had to key in on the run at certain times, and not just focus on Josh, who obviously was still prolific last year, but as you said, improved this year with his numbers and ability, it felt like?
I think all that plays into trying to defend somebody. For him to be as explosive as he was, you had to try to, make sure that you had people in the box. His ability to make people miss made that hard on people. But I think it always plays into the quarterback position if you can run the football. I think that's something that's we've always believed in here, can make you better. But I don't know. I don't know if it was that way. We ran the ball well a year ago too. We were top 10, I think, most of the year in rushing offense, and as we were this year. And so it really came down to just Josh's development and connection with Kyle Howes and Chris Buchter and those guys, and which and his ability to stand in there and make throws, which he wasn't doing a year ago. So he just knew the offense better. Obviously, Rahshan's ability to run it and our ability to run the football definitely helped him, get some one-on-ones, and those guys made those stick. on the outside and being able to pack the box and get more one-on-ones. And we played more two tight ends this year than we had. So that put another whole stress on the defense, from a run standpoint, and then having to make decisions on how to cover a guy like Kyle, right? So, that definitely opened some things up for for Josh, and he did a great job making those things stick. But Josh's development on the whole is a lot credit to him and the work he put in, and then the guys around him doing a great job helping him do that.
JB, if I may, and you'll have the next question, but I want to tell Coach one other thing here. There is a reason we wanted you, especially. I mean, Coach Larson on earlier in the show was great, obviously, to have him on. But Coach, Rahshan's not the only one getting some virtual hardware here. Congratulations to you. You are our 2024 Division III Football Coach of the Year. And just to read off here, you led your program to a 12-win season, which is program best, finishing number 4 in both the D3Football.com and AFCA 2024 Final Top 25 program best rankings. And 2024 landmark champions advanced to the national semifinals with the victories over Hobart, St. John's, and Bethel in that thriller out there. JB, go ahead.
Well, having seen a program that you happen to beat in the playoffs have a similar run about 12 or 10 years ago, I know, Coach, one of the things that was really great for Susquehanna this year was the kind of connecting the alumni of the Riverhawks programs over the years as you guys went on this historic run. Tell us a little bit about what that was like, interacting not only with your current players, but all the excitement that this winning streak and this historic run into the playoffs did for you guys.
Yeah, I think we've had a number of good years. Obviously, this one was a great one, and I'll start by saying I'm honored by the award. A lot of work's gone into it. A lot of emotion right now. I didn't obviously know this, and so thank you for that. I'd like to hats off to my staff too on all the work they did. I look at these awards as staff awards too, but yeah, I think that first big year you have, and we've gotten the alumni kind of back going. When I first got in there, taking over for a long time head coach, and some of the changes we made with our mascot and things like that, there were some bumps in the road with alumni, but for us, it really has rejuvenated, the connection, I think, with alumni and the people on campus too, man. There's such a great buzz on campus about football and the run we made. That's been really cool to see, and people reaching out, that hadn't reached out, or alumni reaching out that hadn't reached out, which hopefully, continues to connect our people with each other and continue to move our program forward in a lot of ways. Those alumni connections can help you so much. And, I think that our guys were really proud of our team, as they should have been. And I was really happy to see, that brotherhood continue to get stronger that we have here. And, just an unbelievable, obviously, guys, people reaching out. I think when we beat St. John's, up there, which was an unbelievable game, right? Being able to charter playing guys at our level and travel out to a place with that history I said to someone yesterday that, that's something our guys will remember forever. I know for me, it's probably the best win I've had in 22 years of doing this. And, just an iconic place and history there. And for us to go on the road and do that and beat the number 1 overall seed was a special moment. But I think I had 200 texts when I got off the field, from alumni and friends and all that. So group chats and guys from the 86 team that was really good here, reaching out and congratulating us, and just a lot of pride in our program and what we've done, and looking to obviously keep that going forward as much as we can.
I have to admit to you, when I covered the Hobart game at your place in week 2 of the playoffs, I felt like I was saying my farewell for the season to Sealands Grove. And that win, I was watching it in the press box with Fran Elliott and Brian McGoffin, the SIDs of Cortland and Springfield at that time, at least. And we were all thrilled for you. Not that we were rooting against St. John's, but you have such a fan following in the administrative folks, the coaches out there. Kurt Fitzpatrick speaks volumes of greatness about you. And I know you guys after the game had a good talk or two earlier in the season. But that is a sign of a guy doing it the right way ultimately. And we couldn't ignore that when we were looking at this. I mean, Brad Spencer, obviously deserving guy and all the accolades he's gotten. But it takes something special to get over that hump as we started this discussion and keep going the way you did. And to be there for that Bethel game, to be able to get the video that showed indeed there was a touchdown scored at the end, and indeed there was a hold, clear hold at the end of that game, shoulder pad and all. It was special for us to be part of that run as well, and to watch you mature into even a better head coach, if that was even possible, coming into this year. So congratulations. Thank you for entrusting us along the way. You've always been very good to us when you knew we were coming to a game, and talking to us behind the scenes. And we really enjoy it. Susquehanna is not a quick trip from here. It's 4.5 hours, maybe 5, depending on the weather. But you make it worth it every time. And so hats off to you and your coaches and your administration out there. Everybody makes it a class act. But you obviously are leading the way as far as we're concerned on that. Any last thoughts on 2024 heading into 2025, Coach?
Just I appreciate, the kind words, and I love JB's hat here, this morning.
I actually have a quick story for you, Coach, about the hat.
We got a story.
So my wife Jen hates the fact that I like to wear like collegiate and athletic wear like this, right? She would rather me be wearing All Saints or, more designer clothes. But she did say when she saw the Susquehanna hat, she's like, wow, that's a good one. I like that hat. I'm like, wow, that's pretty high praise from her. Because normally with this kind of outfit, she's like, do not go out in public dressed like this. That's why I got away at the Stag Bowl. I was, kind of just wearing a jersey, and she wasn't there to get me all ducked out like the mayor up there. So maybe next Stag Bowl I'll have to bump my game up and wear a suit. But I'm kind of a hoodie and hat kind of guy. And thank you for this one. It's a real sharp looking hat.
Yeah, but I really appreciate all you guys do for our game and the publicity. And anytime you get to Selinsgrove, I know it's not the easiest place to get to. It's a great place. It's a lot of special things here, and and Frank's seen a bunch of games, and I'm sure we host Hopkins week 3 next year, so I'm sure we'll have some buzz in that game. And we got your alma mater week 1, Frank. So it'll be fun. Maybe we'll see you a couple more times here in Selinsgrove, but appreciate everything you do, guys. And what a great year, right, for D3 football. Just an amazing year in so many ways. And, hats off to Coach Spencer and his crew. What an impressive job. Man, they were so good. And, and what they did was incredible. And, I think, this is another great year. D3 football as it continues to get better and better. As I think Kurt said a couple of weeks ago, D3 football is at the height. I agree with that. And, I think it's an awesome year, but I appreciate all the publicity for our program and what we've done, and the honor for Rahshan, and it means a lot to be honored by you guys, because I think you guys have a unique view of Division III football. And you see it a lot of ways coaches see it, and not just about statistics, and it's about when you play well and who you play against, and I think you guys have your finger on the button really well, and so having an honor from you guys means a ton.
Thank you, sir. And I don't know if you saw this, but some of the fans that got a little exuberant at North Central even admitted they became Tom Perkovich and Susquehanna fans based on how you handled what happened after the loss in North Central. that you were a stand-up person, and not everybody can do that. And so just the fact of how you carried yourself, even in a loss, got people to become Tom Perkovich fans and Susquehanna River Hawks fans ultimately. So congratulations. Enjoy the off season with the family, because I know you will to a certain degree, but you're hitting that recruiting trail hard too, I know. So enjoy the balance there, and we'll talk to you next season for sure. No, it does not.
All right. Thanks, guys.